This is Joe with LaxPlayBook.com, my very first webinar. Today, I wanted to discuss 222. And just a little intro for me. The reason I wanted to talk about a 222 today is from my personal experience, what I'm sharing with you guys. And I'm basically going through the dilemma with my own team, and we'll use it as a sample. Is I got a team this year that really doesn't have a lot of Dodgers, doesn't have a lot of athletes. We're a little bit understaffed in that department. So I was really trying to think of a way to get the ball in the middle and really feed the crease and hopefully really work on them and how to get open on the crease and maybe set picks and have feeders on the outside to kind of really get in the middle and get those quick shots off, realizing I can't really go one-on-one dodging this year. It's just not in my arsenal. I coach at a smaller public school where it's not, I have this endless array of athletes where they have to tailor to me. I kind of have to tailor to my team. So first off, what are your guys' thoughts on that, being that my situation, and I have a few guys who can play the crease of running the 2-2-2?
You say you do have some people that can play the crease?
Yeah, and I figure that's probably one of the easier things to teach if you're starting with nothing, you're at the high school level, go with the 2-2-2 and kind of feed the crease.
Yeah, I've coached at the high school level for a while, and one of the offenses we run is the 2-2-2. That when all else fails, we drop into the 2-2-2.
Yeah.
For that reason, we can pick and repick off the crease, and we can also pick on the corners, up and down, and get feed either way.
Right.
So.
It's for years I ran the 1-4-1, which really isolated that Dodger up top. But I found when I wanted to feed the crease, he had to cut in off angles that were not always easy to turn and shoot. I did a little pick from the crease, a little switch, and it worked pretty well. So this year I did the 2-2-2 to create angles. And I don't know if you guys saw what I posted recently, but I've really come up with this idea of trying to teach the kids to work in tandems with a 2-2-2. And I got that idea off listening to the Princeton guy coach using kind of box lacrosse philosophies. Because the idea I was having was it'd be easier to have a kid learn to work with one other kid than it is for him to work with 5 kids. So I'm really experimenting this with my tournament teams and potentially in the season. So it almost looked like this. I don't know. Can everybody see my screen? Everybody can see my slides?
Yep.
Yep.
So I was experimenting with this here, what I call tandems. See, number 1 and 2 is working together, 3 and 4 is working together, and 5 and 6, with the thought process that I wanted things to be more fluid. As you could probably guess, I'm a big X's and O's guy, from the nature of the site. And in the beginning, everything was so choreographed, it didn't have that natural flow. But when I tried to have a natural flow, it ended up being chaos, which drives me crazy. I don't know about you guys. So I decided to look at this idea of saying maybe I get 2 guys to flow together. If the other 4 guys just aren't on the same page, well, those 2 guys could still really do their thing and introduce like the pick and roll, slip picks, all those things. So I looked at the tandem as I have here with 1 and 2, 3 and 4, 5 and 6. And then if you're more of a box guy, I was thinking of taking that same idea from the sides, which is what I got from listening to the Princeton guy talk. And for the guys who really like box lacrosse, really working with adjacents of that nature. And I said, this goes along with my idea of if I could get, let's say, 1 and 5 to really be on the same page and really get to know each other, then 3, 4, 2, and 6, you want them to know what they're doing, but it doesn't hurt what 1 and 5's trying to do if they really don't know what they're doing. I don't know about you guys at the high school level, I don't always have 6 guys knowing what they're doing. I wish I say I could, and maybe it's a knock on me as a coach, but sometimes it's a little bit of a fantasy.
No, it isn't. But the way I've always taught the 2-2-2
Yeah.
is I group them in triangles, and they're in motion with each
Interesting.
other.
Interesting. You should say that. Let me go to diagram 5.
Because you're always whenever you rotate through, you're always rotating somebody back to protect against the break, and you don't weaken yourself in a defensive position.
So do you like this diagram we're looking at now? So this is 2 triangles. that I did almost like you see a lot on YouTube, the 2-3-1 triangle motion. So here I tried to modify that for a 2-2-2, and I came up with what we're looking at here. And if you see, it's actually two triangles. If I just modify this design a little bit here.
Yeah.
And I think this is more what you're talking about, correct?
Yeah, but we can box the triangles any way. You can even have 1, 3, 4, 2, 5, 6. So you get the triangles on the side. You can do so they all know that they're in triangles. All those triangles are. I have teaching that all the triangles are there.
So you would go like this too, as well.
Yeah, and across the back of the net to 4 and 6, and to 1 and 2, and so we've developed 4 triangles there.
Yeah. I actually like this look that I just drew here. If you're looking at a mix up, because
what you try. I try and group at least one attackman that I figure can feed in each one of the triangles.
Yeah. And so I like this for a man up, this situation, because number 6, if he could pull the ball up, he'll really pull his defender. And let me show you something. I actually have a video on this that I drew here. Used to call it Roxanne because the guys would cross here. So he's pulling him up, and then these guys come around. So this, I kind of broke the triangle here. And I hope you guys can see the video here. Tell me if you can't. But this is a play I ran for years with tremendous success. The problem with this play, though, I'd have to tell you, it had to be pretty well choreographed. But if you look at it here, and I'll pause it, I start low. So right now you can't see, but I'm in a 2-2-2. You got the two guys down low. Yeah. And this guy with the ball is a lefty. And this is going along with your idea of the triangles. So we're going to get it around once, pray that the kids could catch, right? We've all been there. It's like, don't drop it, don't drop it, don't drop it. So now you can see he's yanking him up, and he's going to yank that lower left defender up high. And I instructed him, say, listen, if he doesn't follow you, shoot. But more or less, he's going to follow you up. And then you have the guy coming around behind for the shot. And if they're covering you and the guy behind, chances are the guy in the middle is going to be open. See, now if you pause it, you guys see what we're looking at here?
Yeah, he's swinging the cage.
Right, that lower guy is open every time because although I didn't even notice this, the two guys in the crease ran into each other. That was not part of my play. Pause it at a perfect time there, right? So what happens is having two guys in the crease or running through the crease causes a lot of commotion for the defense because, as a coach, we say, don't let him throw it in the middle, don't let him throw in the middle. When you're a man down, you want to force that outside shot. And so the two guys in the middle, you can see the defensemen's heads are turning towards two guys in the middle unless they ran into each other. Anybody else have that situation where two guys on your own team ran into each other like that?
Yeah.
So here we go. And he's able to step in for the shot. The reason I bring that up because that goes in line with what you were talking about running the 2-2-2 with two triangles.
Yeah.
If any other guys have any thoughts you don't want to talk, you could type your comments on the side and I could see it. If you'd rather just type and I could hear you there under the chat. So feel free to do that. So that's the two triangles there. What I was thinking for my dodging, and I posted this on the Facebook page 2 days ago, was a dodge and fill philosophy, almost like a pyramid, where I have it. Let me lower my screen here a little bit. I have a matchup I like behind, and I want to get in this formation here. And by the way, does this remind you of any Disney movies, this formation? Gordon, Mighty Ducks, the pyramid, remember? Nobody else remembers that? All right. Huh? Oh, yeah. Flying V, thank you. Yes. So don't be surprised if I call this play this year Flying V, Gordon Bombay. There you go. So what I did is I said to myself, I have a 2-2-2. What if I really like the matchup behind? So I wanted to isolate behind. I always tell my kids, be patient, be patient. When they see a matchup, I don't know about you guys, but my kids tend to get in, go, just go. And I say, if you're in an advantageous position, set it up in the way that's comfortable for you. If that's at X, set it up there. If it's in the corner, set it up there. And so then I wanted the dodge to look like this. And somebody on my Facebook page said, well, why don't we switch 1 and 2, which is a very reasonable idea, but I'm trying to get away from having too much choreographed because kids mess it up. And so my first thought was 1 and 2, I wanted them staying there to be an outlet, first and foremost. So if the dodge doesn't work, I always tell my kids, you could dodge 10 times, you only need to score once, but don't lose the ball the other 9 times. Just because you don't score doesn't mean we drop it. Try it, try again, try again, try again, and eventually it'll crack. So 1 and 2, I wanted to stay up high as an outlet. And also, I thought they could follow their defenseman. So if the defenseman crashes in, they could follow them in for a quick stick, follow them right down that alley. But more importantly, their outlet. Going with your idea, I believe it was Paul, about the fill in, I wanted 5 to kind of fill in to back up. The other reason I had 5 there is I thought to myself, that's where the typical creases slide is coming from, because there's no adjacent slide here. Are you guys with me so far?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I wouldn't pull him all the way behind. I wouldn't pull 5 all the way behind the net.
Yeah.
Because he should still be able to beat the other defender to the ball to keep possession. I would keep him still. I would stop him at the corner of the net, so he's still dangerous. If his man, his guy decides to go, his guy takes the slide. Now he's got the shot.
Yeah.
On the corner. I would always keep him dangerous.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to take him out of a position of danger. The worst case scenario is the guy, either defender that guy's defending 6 or 5. He's going up. Defender may slack off a little because he sees 2 guys in the corner there. 6 gets the shot.
Yeah. Any of you other guys have any other thoughts on this one?
So you're saying keep 5 at GLE then?
Yeah, keep him just a foot above goal line extended.
Okay.
So he's always dangerous. Now I got 6 people that are dangerous. Although 1 and 2 are a little far out, but still, if you got somebody that can rip from the hatches, you got to dump back either one of those.
Oh, somebody's got a kid. So I do like that idea. My only counter to what you're saying is the shot backup, obviously, is one. Because you're saying, if I'm understanding you correctly, keep him right around here, right?
Yeah. So he's a yard above goal line extended.
Right. So about here.
Yeah, even a little closer to the cage, just so he's still dangerous.
Yeah.
And he can get a shot. He's got a good angle, and if he's a yard or a half yard up from goal line extended, he's still got the full cage to shoot at. If the goalie slides to him, he's got the far side of the cage, or he can beat him short, he can beat him up, he can beat him down. And if 6 shoots and misses, he's still at an angle where 6 is shooting from. He's going to be the closest one to the ball going out of bounds. If he sees the shot and, the other men off the ball call a shot, he knows to break to where the ball is going.
Yeah. So I have a thought on that, but real quick.
You have 3 and 4?
Yeah.
You have 3 and 4 there. Do you have them? Is that a pick and roll? Is that what you have going there?
So originally when I did this, I was thinking do a pick and roll, but then I thought, well, if the defense are sliding, I may not need to pick because I'm trying to think through. They're probably going to have a hot guy sloughing off. So I thought more design it where they're filling into a space. Because I'm thinking like a high school defender. If I'm guarding number 3, do I really need to pick that guy? Because he's kind of looking at ball with his stick to, probably if he's well coached, his stick is touching number 3 while his eyes are on the ball saying, I'm second, I'm second, I'm second. So I'm thinking by having 4 cut across, that's going to draw his attention just there because he's cutting across with his stick in the air looking for the ball. And now there should be an empty space where 4 left that I wanted him to fill in. So I'm almost thinking like a zone type philosophy because their backs are to their crease man and they're looking to receive the ball. So that's why I didn't draw it as a pick. Maybe if I wasn't dodging, I'd say pick him. But since he's going off a dodge, I thought maybe Phil. I don't know. Do you agree with that, or do you think you would rather have a pick in there?
Well, I wasn't too sure, but I was just thinking about who your sort of first outlet was going to be for your attack if he doesn't get the shot. Whether you're going to have him look to number 3 or whether you just kind of play.
You're going to have to roll the ball back up top if he doesn't get a shot. And then
Right.
run it from the top.
So when I design this play, if you want to call it, I more want to think of it as just an offensive philosophy of how to clear out rather than a play. But when I look at this, I'm going to teach the kids that number 3 is your first look to score, not number 6 with the ball, but that's where we're primarily looking because the Dodger could have his head up. It's a straight look. Because number 4, he's kind of have to look through the defenders to send that ball there. So an ideal world, and I say ideal, I think number 3 would be that first look to get a goal. So what do you guys think? Anything? So with that being said, going back to the other comment, I liked him going here only because he could roll back and redodge. Because I teach my kids, don't dodge to here, but rather come here so then we could roll back, send it to him, and he could redodge the weak side. Kind of because he's going to draw all the traffic to the right side. So if he rolls back, send a number 5, he could redodge the weak side, whereas the defense has slid over a little bit. So I do understand your point of keeping them all dangerous, but I really like the idea of having the guy with the stick in the air with the ability to dodge the weak side once he gets it.
If you don't keep them dangerous, depending on how good the defense is that you're playing, it sets up where the defender can cheat more towards the ball.
Yeah, I think that's the key. Is
he cheat. I would tell my guys if they're running offense on that, number 5 isn't dangerous to us anymore, so I would cheat towards the ball. And my wing defender, who I have going to have quickness with anyway, he's going to be able to beat 5 back to the corner. If 5 gets the ball and tries to come around the same way 6 does, he's running into 3 defenders.
Yeah. Ross, you had a point you wanted to make?
Well, I was thinking that he just could go slow at first. Make sure he's dragging his defender with him. If he goes too quickly behind GLE, then it allows his defender just to cheat across and maybe slide.
Right, so kind of feel the situation, don't be a robot, kind of be an athlete, I guess we like to say. So that's one way I did it. Then we had the triangle rotation. And the other one I wanted to go through is just the standard adjacent pick. Kind of doing the old school, just John Stockton, Karl Malone philosophy. I really like doing that out 2-2-2, and this kind of goes along with them working in the tandems a little bit, as we have here. So that's the other reason I like the 2-2-2, so you can have that 2-man game from top, side, behind. So I don't know what you guys think about that one.
Yeah, that's really what it is to get the pairs working. Also, if you look at it in a spread 3 and 4 out. So,
you mean like this one right here?
Yep.
Have I not drawn this out or what? Are you guys impressed? No?
You know, there's a lot you can do with the 2-2-2, but there's some basic stuff that you have to do with the 2-2-2.
So what do you think those basic things are you have to do? Run the two-man game and things of that nature?
The two-man game, the triangle, the spread out like this, the pinch in. Sometimes you can even pinch. You can pinch 1 and 2 at the top and 5 and 6 at the bottom. Because they're kind of stacked, and if the defenders go with them, we would just call it jailbreak, and then the two stacks at top and bottom break. The balls on the side, and we pitch them in, jailbreak, and then they all roll and become dangerous. They all cut to the net.
So if I'm understanding you correctly on that one, help me out with this. So who do you have the ball with? Number 3?
3 has the ball. 1 and 2 are pinch.
So I'll give number 3 the ball, and you put 1 and 2 where?
1 and 2 are pinched. Almost like you would be on the crease. And
Okay.
5 and 6 are up where the midfielders would be.
Okay.
Probably 5 and 6 are pinched behind.
Okay.
And then we would call the man with the ball would drop in that set. He'd call jailbreak. Okay. 1 and 2 would cut with their strong hand to get a feed. 5 and 6 would come around. Really, what happens is the guy on 3 panics a little because he sees that all these guys are cutting to the net. He's out on those guys. He's going to be open for a shot, or 3 with a quick dodge can beat his man, and 4 has to figure out a way to stop the fast break going the other way.
Right. So the other thing I did out of the circle 2, what you call the 2-2-2 spread, I tend to call the circle 2, is that backdoor cut, because I find kids have a very difficult time defending an open set, especially when you do it quickly. So I have this right here. Let's do the backdoor cut. So I really like that one there. But I don't know if I can say that 2-2-2 as much as a circle, which kind of brings a different philosophy for me. Because if you remember when he started, my whole point of this was to kind of feed the ball into the crease. That's how I ended up trying to work on this and what brought me to today's discussion. So having that backdoor cut really forces me to have 6 guys who can handle the ball, which I'm not privileged to have this year.
Well, I'll tell you that. I generally let the kids on the offensive side of the ball call the plays we're going to run because I want a free form. If a guy thinks he can take a guy, I want him to take him. But everyone on the offensive side of the ball that I have, they know they can do whatever they want as long as we're as long as we're doing what we're supposed to do.
Yeah.
As long as we're all moving.
Yeah.
Eventually people move and fill the space.
Yeah.
I probably call 5 plays during the game.
Yeah.
And when we go out man up, I'll give them the sets we're going to run, and they decide which of the sets they're going to use.
Yeah. Rob, any thoughts on this one? I think Rob signed off. So anyway, I think pretty good for now. Then 30 minutes here. I hope this is helpful. I want to do this again, but I got the 2-2-2 here, going with my philosophy, going what I want to do. Hopefully it helps. And as for now, I think we're good. Till next time, it's Joe from LaxPlayBook.com.
All right. Thank you.